conference record, but like you mentioned, if you're at Ohio State, expectations are very different. How much do those 3 losses against Michigan loom over you? And just what are your expectations heading into the season and wanting to right that narrative like this?
I think when you look at year in and year out, the expectations are what they are, and every year you have an opportunity at Ohio State. You have an opportunity to win every game, and that's what the expectations are, and that's because of the great players and coaches that have come before, and we certainly understand that. And after every year, you got to identify what are the things that have held you back from reaching your goals, knowing that we want perfection and we want to win the game at the end of the season, and in particular, like last year, what was it that prevented us from finishing off that last drive or getting off the field on defense, and why didn't we do that? And it's easy to say, well, it comes down to a play or two, but that's not really the case. We need to do is we need to leave no doubt. No doubt. Don't leave it to one play. Don't leave it to one call. Don't leave it to one stop. Leave no doubt when you're on the field, and we're not going to get into all the reasons or all the things that we've done to try to address that, to get that fixed, but we worked hard on that, and we feel good about where we're at going into the season.
How well do you know Serrone Moore, and what are you expecting from him in terms of the DNA of the Michigan team this year?
I assume that it's going to be similar to the way it's been in the past, but we'll see once we get into the season.
And then, you talked about this in the spring. I mean, it's win or bust pretty much for you guys, etc. How do you keep that in mind, but also take things one day at a time?
Yeah, it's not really something we try to emphasize daily, but it's something definitely in the back of our heads, especially for the guys that came back for this last year. That's what we want to do, be able to get our gold pants, win every single game, win a national championship, and but most importantly, man, just win the moment, take care of what's in front of you right now, and then everything will, speak for itself.
How much does that against Michigan
It's not something I really think about, but we didn't get it done the past 3 years, but it's our job this year to change that narrative.
I understand what you say, that's what we really think about it. I've been to Ohio State where the countdown clock is on the wall. I mean, it's really not something that you guys think about when you're walking that building.
Well, I guess I could take that back. It is something we think about every day. But, yeah, it's tough. But at the end of the day, we didn't get the job done, so it's our job this year just to go on with the mentality of just getting the W.
If I say the word payback to you, what do you think of?
When you say payback?
If I say payback to you, what comes to mind?
Revenge.
Well, any particular team that might come to mind?
Team up north?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal every year. Is it more so because it's manifested itself over a period of time?
Yeah, but it's been pretty built up over time, and heart's boiling just thinking about it, but yeah. Marked on the calendar, yeah.
It's like you almost committed twice because, coming back for this season, what was that like compared to rallying the class the first time around?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit different this time around, obviously, because, a lot of us had great opportunities to go to the next level, and, it was tough for a lot of us to decide to come back. And, it was obviously it's a dream of all of ours here playing at this level to play at the next level in the NFL, since we were little kids. So making that decision to forego playing in the NFL to come back for one more year at Ohio State was a very tough decision for a lot of guys and myself. So, we came back for one purpose and one goal, and that's to beat the team up north and win the national championship.
I'm going to ask you about that because having grown up in Ohio, going all the way back to the Woody Hayes days, I've talked to recruits that do. You didn't mention the team by name, you said the team up north.
Yeah.
The first prior to always beat them. There are 3 M flags hanging over there for the last 3 championships. And I tried to ask your teammate over there if that bothered him. He said, I'm not thinking about any of that. And Mecca's like, no, he just sidestepped it. But how much does it burn with you that that's something that's got to be done?
Yeah, the past few years are definitely, 3 seasons that, we came up short against those guys, and I'd be lying if I told you that it didn't burn a fire inside of us. So, definitely something that we think about, and we know what's at stake when we play those guys. All of our goals and aspirations for the season rides on that one game in November. And, they hate us, we hate them. That's the way it's got to be. That's the way we want it to be. So that's what makes that rivalry so fun. And we're just looking forward to that game this year.
I've always understood that the bar has always been set that high at Ohio State. And yet I have other people that say to me, don't you think Coach Day gets unfairly criticized because There have been surrounding circumstances with that game with the
Yeah.
North, but 3 losses is 3 losses, and even though you've probably beaten almost everybody else, that's where the bar is, or do you think he gets the raw deal?
Well, I think it's a tough thing to look at. I know, if you ask Coach Day, Coach Day's man enough to sit up here and tell you that that's part of the job he signed up to do. But me being a guy who would go to war for him any day, regardless of the topic, I think he gets wrongly criticized on a bunch of stuff. A bunch of junk came out after we lost to those guys a couple of times about him not caring, which is just completely couldn't be more wrong. So I think he does get unfairly criticized at times, but like he said, he knows what he signed up to do, and we all signed up to do the same thing as well, and we've fallen short as well. So if anything, it doesn't go back on him, it goes back on us as players, and that's why we decided to come back.
Good luck this year. I'm going to enjoy it.
Thank you.
The guys who decided to come back and decided to go to the NFL, were those conversations where everybody made their own decision, or were you guys texting back and forth? You brought up the Michigan thing. Was that part of the conversation?
Yeah, I think that when we all decided to come back, I think I was the first guy to tell Coach Day I was coming back. I told him I was coming back before the bowl game, and I made a group chat, and we all were kind of texting and talking as the weeks and months after, or the weeks and days, I should say, after the Missouri game. We were talking about it, kind of here and there, and I was just throwing stuff in guys' ears, trying to talk to them about coming back and why we should come back and how much it would mean to the city if we came back, and to Ohio State, and being able to etch our names in the legacy here if we win a national championship and beat those guys up north. So it was kind of a collective group effort, and a lot of decision went into it, but everybody made their own decision what was best for them, and ultimately I'm glad that a lot of them decided to come back.
Let Ryan down there at that point when he came back. What was in that? Obviously, you didn't accomplish all your goals. You still had to make clear. What kind of was going through your mind?
I think it's just when I committed to Ohio State, we had just played in a national championship, coming off of 3 or 4 Big Ten championship wins, haven't lost to a team up north in 8-9 years, and then when my class gets there, it kind of reverses. And I think for me, being the type of guy I am, I think naturally I felt like I let not only Ryan Day down, but I let the city down. And so for me, it's all about coming back, and a lot of us, we all feel the same way too, is that we weren't going to leave here without having one more shot at doing this the right way, and leaving here better than what we came here for. So
I was just going to say, what would it mean for you to accomplish that, to get the gold fans?
Yeah, I mean everything. It'd mean everything to me. That's the main reason why we came back. You know what I mean? That's when we signed our name on, our letter of intent. That's what we were coming here to do. Especially me being from Columbus, it'd mean the world to me, and that's what I plan on doing this fall.
You've been doing a lot of credit for a lot of these veteran guys who come back this year. Coach Day mentioned it during his presser. Was there a specific approach or pitch that you had for some of the other guys who have gone to the NFL for them to come back for 2024?
For me, I just told those guys, look, man, when we came to Ohio State, we had all these goals and aspirations to achieve, and don't get me wrong, I want to go to the NFL and chase my dream of that more than the next guy, but before we can chase that, we had something bigger at stake, something bigger than ourselves. Coach Day always talks about is leaving your legacy at the Ohio State, becoming one of the best teams to ever come through here. And my conversations to them were, if we all decided to come back for our senior year, imagine the things that we could achieve. There's nothing we couldn't achieve. So I think that was my sales pitch, is that, look, if we all decide to come back together, that we're coming back to beat the team up north, win a national championship, and win a Big Ten championship. So to me, that was the selling point to those guys.
Emeka has said that you guys haven't really won anything yet.
Right.
How much of that is fueling this offseason, this preseason you're going to go into, and then this season overall?
Yeah, I mean, it fuels us every day. I think, I wake up and thinking about it. I think about it every day. I haven't won a championship. I haven't beat the team up north, and you walk around the Woody and all you see is championships and championship posters and banners, and haven't been here for 3 years and not helped our team and this organization win any of those. It's something that wears on me, and it's something that motivates me every day.